All right, the Cowboys have been making easy work of all the light teams. They play a falling Seattle tonight. Dak has cleaned up his game a lot, but Seattle's defense is forced to turn over in 6 of their last 7 games. Are you worried that this is going to be a trap game for Dak Prescott?
No, I don't. I also wonder, typically Thursday night games are sloppy games. I wonder how much that changes by the fact that both of these teams played last Thursday, so both of these teams are on regular rest. One of the reasons Thursday night games are bad is because teams played on Sunday, then they play on Thursday, they don't have a full week of practice, they're beat up, all those things. But these teams all played Thursday. Or both these teams played Thursday. So it's a regular week, just
and
the
both
days
these
are
teams
different.
kind of like really need this win, I feel like.
Well, for very different reasons. But that's 100% correct. Seattle could fall out of the playoffs, man. I thought Seattle was pretty well locked as a wild card. But Seattle, all of a sudden, that Rams loss, that 1-point Rams loss is such a killer for them. After this Cowboys game, DeMonze, their next 2 are Niners-Eagles. So if they lose tonight, a 5-game losing streak is absolutely on the table, and all of a sudden a team that was 6-3 can be 6-8. And the other reason that Rams loss is so devastating is the Rams are one of the teams chasing them for a wild card spot. If they finish with the same record, the Rams go because, you know what I'm saying? I'm an idiot. They play the Rams again they lost the Rams twice this year because they played them week 1. So I'm right about that. If they finish with the same record as the Rams go to the playoffs. They don't. So this could go left on Seattle in a big way. For the Cowboys, if you don't think the Cowboys can catch Philly, then this game's really not that important. They're just going to be the 5 seed. Whether they win 10 games or 13 games, if they're not going to win the division, they're the 5 seed. The real question is, can Dallas catch Philly? But that is trickier than it sounds. Because here's the deal on that. Dallas, in order to pass Philly, because Dallas has 3 conference losses, unless you assume that Philly is going to gag a game against the Giants, which they're not going to. Not only do they have to beat them, DeMonze, they have to finish with a better record. Dallas is not going to, if they both finish 14-3, if Dallas runs the table and finishes with the same record as Philly, Philly wins on conference record tiebreaker. So that Philly right now has 0 conference losses. Dallas, all of their losses are conference losses. So the first tiebreaker is head-to-head. If Dallas beats Philly in a week and a half, that'll be split. The second record is divisional record. Unless you think the Giants are going to steal one from Philly, which they're not, they're both going to finish the year 5-1 in the division if Dallas beats them. So that's tied. The next tiebreaker is conference record, and Philly is not going to have 3 conference losses. And if they were to have 3 conference losses, they're not going to be tied with Dallas anyway. Point I'm making is, if Dallas runs the table, for Dallas to win the division, the following things I believe have to happen. They have to run the table. Philly has to lose this week to San Francisco and obviously next week to Dallas. And Philly has to lose one of their final 4 games, which are at Seattle, home for the Giants, home for the Cardinals, at the Giants.
Do you think there's a chance that the Eagles do that? We've got it locked up. We're going to rest Jalen Hurts and our starters and ready for the postseason?
Well, so yes, I do. I also, this is my annual Galaxy Brain plea, and this doesn't typically, you don't usually even have this opportunity. And Philly, let's just say, for the sake of argument, Philly beats the Niners this week and beats Dallas. They do both of those things, they could absolutely have the 1 seed locked up after their 15th game. In that very unique scenario, I've always thought the smarter thing would be to rest players in your second to last game,
right.
and then play guys in your last game because you're going to have a bye anyway. And all of a sudden, if you have the 1 seed locked up and you rest guys in your final week of the year, then all of a sudden you go 3 weeks without playing a game, and there's, to me, a real risk of roster something there. If you have the opportunity to rest guys with 2 games left, I wouldn't rest them for both, but I would do it in week 17, not week 18. I don't think, though, this is going to, well, let me rephrase it. If Philly beats the Niners, they could lock this up. With Detroit's bad loss, the Niners would then have 4 losses. Philly would have the head-to-head against San Francisco. I'm hoping we get some late season intrigue. I don't know if we will. In the AFC, I think it will be hard for the Chiefs to lock up the 1 seed early because they have the 3 losses, same as Baltimore, same as Jacksonville, same as Miami. And even though they're going to have the tiebreaker against all 3 of those teams, I don't see there being massive separation. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.